Kate Milafalcha, welcome to Irish Granny Helen, and look who I found. I'm so excited. I would like to introduce anyone, the one person left in the world who doesn't know you, Maggie. This is Maggie Weber, the Refashioned Hippie.
Refashioned Hippie. I chose the longest name on the internet.
No, I have trouble remembering the first one. I don't know, I want to think unearthed or I don't know, something wrong. I'm so glad I remembered it. It was a miracle. Thank you for coming. I'm very grateful that you're willing to join me here in my little odd corner.
Absolutely. It's wonderful that you want to talk to me, honestly.
Well, you keep popping up. I can't get away from you. I was, I do a lot of putting my videos up while I'm on my phone late at night. It's just easier, and you know how they give you suggestions? And your little shorts kept popping up, literally and figuratively. People will get that later. And I was like, who is this person with the beautiful hair? That was what really, no offense. And you are so funny. You have my sense of humor. Just cracked me up. And I thought, this is what everybody needs. Everybody needs a little laughter. Laughter is healing.
Absolutely.
But I have my cheat sheet here. I took 3 pages of notes about you. I hope you're feeling nervous now.
Oh, I'm scared. Yeah.
So why I got in touch with you is because you have really important messaging that you deliver with humor. I was so impressed about how you weasel all of those important messages into what seems like just a lighthearted thing, but it's valuable, and I'm so grateful to you. And also, you do more than YouTube. That really impressed me too. Will you explain the book thing?
Oh, which book thing? The ones I write or the ones I voice?
Oh, well, excuse me. I didn't realize.
Which thing were you telling?
Well, the writing part, I understand that. And do you have a genre?
So kind of comedy. I've written 2 books so far. The third will be coming out later this year. The first one that I wrote is about working in retail for 10 years. And anyone who's worked in retail or food service will understand the name. It's called Why I Hate Everything. And it is just the real stories of what happened. And I love it because anyone who reads it then calls or emails me to be like, oh, you have to hear about this one time. And it's like, yes, I do. Because I love that. I think that we are just made of stories. And if you know someone's story, you can't hate them. So the more we share it ourselves, the better.
And you have a third one coming out. What's that going to be?
So that one is going to be Bad Design, 101 of the worst designs throughout history. So pieces like the cod piece, all the way up to ultra low-rise skinny jeans.
The Merkin.
The Merkin has its own chapter.
Oh, you're welcome.
I didn't know what a Merkin was a year ago. I'm not better for it.
I told you, history. It's all in there. History's more interesting than people think. You write your book. I'll read it and I'll have you come back and talk.
That would be wonderful.
Please,
I really appreciate that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So you do things like create upcycled clothes?
I do. I can grab some if you want. I just spent some minutes. Yeah, I'll be right back. Okay. Hold on. Just right there.
Who knew you were so multi-talented? This is great. Plus, she's got a cute cat. Bring the cat back. This is going to be fascinating because there is some hilarious stuff to tell you here. Oh my God, what have you got there?
So I sell clothing. My channel is basically a fashion comedy channel. So we talk about insane rich people stuff, but there is so much waste in the fashion industry and especially fast fashion that one of the things I love to do is I sell clothing. I am a reseller. I sell it for $2 on Whatnot, but there are always pieces you can't sell because there's a little hole or a stain or it's just too plain. I like taking those pieces and turning them into something else to reduce my carbon footprint. So this is a crocheted bag.
Oh, you crochet. Oh, that's wonderful. Do you knit?
I do.
I'm
a faster crocheter, but I like knitting.
I do.
So this is just an old t-shirt that was turned into yarn and then you crochet with it.
How do you turn it into yarn?
It's a very simple process. You take a t-shirt, cut it into strips about the length or about the width, sorry, of your finger. And
Yeah.
then when you pull it, it naturally turns itself into a little line, roll it up, and then you can crochet with it.
Does it have to be cotton? 100% cotton?
No.
Oh, I had no idea.
I make tons of pieces that way. So this is 3 different t-shirts that I'm making a tote bag out of. And it's kind of just a mindful thing I get to do. So that's what I do with the things that are completely plain. But like this jacket that I had was just a plain green jacket. I took a sweatshirt of Bart Simpson that was destroyed, just way too destroyed. Sewed it on, painted it. And I think it's just so much cooler now, right?
Well, at least it doesn't say I don't care to you or I love that so much. One of my favorite characters is Ned.
Ned's
Hi,
so
Leo. Neighborino. Love him.
So
Okay.
this was an old Shein, just real quick. This was an old Shein t-shirt.
Oh, that's
and
really cute.
Shein clothing is horrible. The quality is really terrible. So the armpits were completely destroyed. But I just made it into a little hoodie, and I'm going to do some painting of flowers on this. And then this is a brand new piece that somebody gets to wear because most of the material is totally fine. So yeah, I like to upcycle.
Where do you sell them?
On Whatnot.
I'm not familiar with that, and I'm not familiar with Shein.
Ooh, don't familiarize yourself with the second one. So
Okay.
Whatnot is a platform where people can come and do clothing auctions. So everything that I sell starts at $2 because I'm profiting because I get most of my pieces through donations. People know that I do this. So most of my clothing sells for $2. So the people who come get clothing for very, very cheap. I make a little bit of money that goes into my daughter's college fund, and no one has to go shopping anywhere else that could be less affordable because we currently have enough clothing to clothe the next 6 generations of human beings.
I'm sure you've seen images of donated clothes that are sent to, third world countries, and it's just huge blocks of clothes stuffed together and tied together. It's unbelievable.
I mean,
So
there
many
used to be a real secondhand market, and that's just gone now because we're sending so much and it's such poor quality.
I haven't been out a lot in the past few years, but I do love to go to a good thrift store. And
Mhm.
I have never had enormous success. It's very difficult to find clothes that fit properly unless you're a certain narrow, literally and figuratively, kind of in a narrow group. I wore this in your honor today. This is my thrift shop wrap dress.
Nice. I like it.
Thank you. Thank you. What's her name? Who makes the wrap dresses? The famous
Oh,
Von
Diane
Furstenberg.
Furstenberg. Oh,
Yes.
oh, I'm sorry to say it.
Okay. So I always like to start out when I have a conversation with somebody. I like to break the ice a little bit. There's not enough ice right now in our conversation, but let's warm things up. This is a question about fashion that tortures me every time I see a fashion show, every time I see anything to do with a model walking down the runway. Why do they all look like my daughters did when they were 13? Sullen, hostile. What is that?
So that is actually one of my least favorite elements of fashion. You are not supposed to look at the model. Models are clothing hangers that are unfortunately alive. That is how they are viewed within the modeling world. If you are looking at their face, something has gone wrong. That's one of my least favorite things. So they have that sort of sour, sullen face because they don't want you looking at their face. And it's so much more pleasant to look at someone who's smiling. So they make them look.
I wonder if anyone's ever had a serious psychological conversation with these people who put on these shows, because frankly, at least for me, when I see somebody come down that runway like this,
Mhm.
I'm not interested in what they're wearing. The vibe is bad.
I mean, you're like a rational person, though. There's a lot of people in the world
Well,
who
now we haven't known each other that long.
there's a lot of people who want that feeling of exclusivity. So that look of I'm better than you, why would I bother speaking to you, is something they actually find attractive.
Okay. Oh my God. Well, thank you for clearing that up. So can we talk a little bit about your background? I don't want to intrude, and anything you don't
Absolutely.
want to talk about is fine. So like where are you from? What kind of family, siblings, your parent? We know your father. We can talk about that.
So I grew up right outside of Philadelphia, and my family did not have a lot of money growing up. My mom, who I'm incredibly proud of, she was in school when my oldest brother and I were born, and we had no money. I literally slept in a drawer the first 2 years of my life. She then got 2 PhDs and is
Whoa.
now a doctor, and so suddenly there was money. But we grew up with a real understanding of the value of money and that you have to help other people, that's what we're here for. So I can tell you both of my parents have founded their own nonprofits to help the homeless in Philadelphia. I'm incredibly proud of them for that.
Oh my God, you should be.
Yeah. And
what is your mother? What are her doctorates in?
so I don't want to say too much about her because I don't know how
Okay.
much she wants
Okay.
to.
No. That's fine.
No,
That's
just
fine.
because, like, listen, I love my mother. She doesn't understand technology. So every time I go to her house, she's like, "Can we watch your videos?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Can you help me get a Facebook?" And I was like, "No, I cannot. No."
But further proving that just because you're good at technology doesn't mean you're smart.
My mother is an incredibly special woman. She is so smart, so kind, so motivated. My
Oh.
dad once was explaining to her what a lobbyist is when she
Mhm.
was like 40 or 50. And he was like, "No, that can't be legal." And it's like, oh, mother. Oh,
She has
mother.
integrity, inherent integrity. I
That's the
love
thing.
that.
Yeah.
Is she the one who was the chef?
That's my dad. Or yeah, that's my dad. My mom's a doctor. My dad was a chef.
So do you cook? Oh, are you into it too?
Oh yeah. We were using knives before we could walk.
Now, see, cooking to me is this trial that was imposed on me for 25 years. And my husband is great and he cooks and everything. But let's face it, if you're gone most of the day working, we have very, very traditional roles in a sense, not really, but in a sense. So I was the one that the cooking responsibility really fell on heavily. I hate to cook. I did 3 meals for 7 people for 25 years. The shop is closed. I don't cook it anymore at all. I'll make coffee, espresso for me. That's it. That's it.
See, I can respect that. Like, I'm not going to say that you are wrong. What I will say is that for me, there is such joy in food. When I'm cooking just for myself, I don't care. I'll have potato chips for dinner. Like, okay. But
Ooh,
if
my favorite.
someone comes to my home, it's a way that I can express my love for that person. It's a way that I can take care of that person. And I was taught that food is good. So, you see recipes all the time where it's like, gather your 47 ingredients. That's just unnecessary. Like chicken tastes
Well,
good.
no, it's worse than
Potatoes
unnecessary. It's a
taste good.
nightmare.
That's the thing. So I was raised to let food speak for itself. You just make good food. So for me, it is a joy to get to do that for someone.
I was raised in an environment where food was a reward, a celebration. If you were in
Mm.
grief, it was there. It was a way to cope with anxiety. Food was paramount in everything. And that can be problematic. But there was always cooking going on where I was raised. I come from a big family, so it was necessary. We were asking about your background.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Family.
So
We actually got the first 3 questions just without even having to look. Yeah.
I started on the internet when I got pregnant. I was too sick to keep working. It was not fair to have them pay me to sleep at my desk. So I was home for about a week and then I was bored out of my mind. So I started selling clothing on Poshmark and I started really making money. So then I started selling on eBay and I made more money, and then Facebook and I made more money, and then Depop and I made more money. So I started to treat it like a business and started earning like a business. And I knew that to be successful in business today, you have to have a presence on social media. So I started an Instagram account, which did okay. But once I started showing my face and sharing more of my comedy rather than just saying, oh, look at the jeans I have for sale, it skyrocketed. And I think that I kind of fill a hole for a lot of people where I say what other people are thinking, because it doesn't matter what your political alignment is. It doesn't matter what your religious beliefs are. We can all laugh at a $34,000 skirt. We can all agree that's a bit high.
When we're not crying. Yeah, we're going to talk about the stupid fashion.
Mhm.
Oh my God. It is so foreign to anything that I've ever been involved in or had in my life or related to, or even the people around. I mean, God, I can't even believe it. So I was telling somebody today, she was saying, she brought this up herself. She was saying that she says, I don't need to pay a lot of money to get jeans with holes in the knees. I can do that myself. And I said, look, the way I was raised, I am not buying clothes that are distressed. I grew up in distressed clothes, that didn't fit, or were somebody else's that were hand-me-downs and were inappropriate, for my size, shape, whatever. And I would never buy something that was pre-torn. And I'm sorry, I know that's a fashion. No shade on anybody who's into it, but I don't get it.
Well, the thing that bothers me is that, like, clothing is necessary for us today. How you dress at work matters. How you dress in front of your family matters. And clothing can communicate so much about us, but none of that justifies owning a dress for $55,000. That's insane. Especially
we're going to talk about that, because I'm just blown away by some of the things that you pointed out. One of the things I want to talk about before we start making fun of rich people and everything, I think this is something that's really important to understanding fashion. And I have to say, I don't completely understand it. And you mentioned it a couple of times in your videos, is the nexus, the blurred lines between fashion and art. I think, can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. So it's very important to remember that when you are looking at a clothing collection, especially from a high-end designer, you are not just looking at a dress. You are looking at history in motion. You are looking at art in motion. The example that I always use is during the 70s, there was an artist, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to know their names. There's a female artist whose performance piece was in a gallery. She would be completely naked, dip her hair in paint, and just smash it all over the floor. And that was her performance piece. And so a lot of people would look at that and be like, what the, like, crazy lady, weird feminist, blah, blah. In order to understand that piece, you have to understand that what she was responding to was a piece done in the 1950s where a man took naked models, dipped their hair in paint, and then dragged them by their feet on the floor to paint on the floor with their hair. And he spoke a lot about that piece where he did not consider them humans. He considered them brushes. They were just beautiful brushes to him. So with that context, you're able to view that piece a lot differently. And you're able to view the fact that she was expressing feminine rage and she was trying to take back ownership of her body in response to that piece. And clothing is the exact same way. You can look at something and be like, that is ridiculous. Schiaparelli just puts these giant lobsters on all of their dresses. What the f is going on? But if you look at the history of the piece, it does make sense. So I think a lot of people who are into fashion think I'm dumb or just uneducated. And for me, it's like, no, we can have a discussion about how the Schiaparelli pieces were originally designed in the 1930s. Or we can talk about the fact that that woman has a lobster on her tits. Like, both are legitimate views. And both are something that you will encounter when you choose to put art into the world. You know this. You create things. People can come on here and criticize you. Whenever you create art, you create something that can be criticized. It's certainly happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to you. But fashion is a form of art. For me, it's something that has a higher level of accountability than a simple painting. Because when you're looking at an art collection, you have to account, for me, you have to account for the materials used. Like if there's leather, an animal died for someone to wear that.
That's
You have to
right.
account for the labor involved. Dior was just busted for paying Chinese immigrants in Italy up to $2 a day to make their clothes, to make their handbags. Like, I think you have to account for that. So for me, fashion does have a level of responsibility, and you can't just say it's art and get a blank check. I talked a lot. You tell me if that makes sense.
No, I love hearing you say this because I completely agree with you. You know that show, Project Runway?
I love that show.
I obsessively watched that for years.
Mhm.
And eventually I got tired of the backbiting.
Yeah.
And the underhandedness. And I just, there's so much of that anymore. It's just too much. I can't handle any more of it. But I was fascinated by the creativity.
Mhm.
And I would think, okay, they've been given an assignment and they have this fabric thrown at them, whether they like it or not. What would I do? Oh, well, I'd probably just sit down and cry.
Yes.
And it's remarkable. Human beings are so creative. It's absolutely remarkable. But that's not clothes. That's fashion. That's art. To me, they're essential. There's a very, well, blurred lines is how you put it. It's a very blurred boundary between them because most people, most real ordinary normal people are not going to wear stuff like that. I couldn't possibly afford it, and even if they could, I don't think they'd buy it.
I mean, that's why I play Where Are We Going in This? That's one of the games we play on the train.
It's one of my favorites. I know.
Because like a full denim swimsuit that can't get wet. There's only a certain amount of us who are going to go strolling on a beach in Mykonos. It's not most of us.
What about the one you just did, I think recently, with the jean leg, and the leg came up one leg and it came all the was that Balenciaga? Came all the way
It was
up.
a scarf. It was a scarf that was one
Scarf,
jean
but
leg
it was
that
a
wrapped
leg.
around your neck.
It's unbelievable. Where would you wear that?
What bothers
Exactly.
me is that piece was over $700. And I feel like if someone had DIY'd that and was selling it on Etsy, I'll leave you the hell alone. But to assume that's going to be for mass consumption, I got nothing.
I know it is horrifying. There's a conversation around that. So let's talk about all the games you play. I had so much fun last night. I told you I went down the rabbit hole. I was taking frantic notes. I couldn't even read my handwriting afterwards. So correct me if I get this wrong. So you play something in general called the fashion game, and you've got a variety of versions of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've mentioned a couple of times that you want a channel, I don't know who you were talking about, to offer you a game show. And I'm all for it. If they need advice from the public, I think it would be fantastic.
I would love it. I would love it.
So you play, how much is this? And you'll display something from a famous designer. Remind me, do you do a cheap one and an expensive one, or just?
It depends. I do all sorts of things.
Okay. That's why I couldn't keep track. No consistency. Okay. So.
Oh no, I once, one version that I did was just, what is this? And I had gone to Home Depot and taken a picture of a spool of rope. And so many people were like, Balenciaga, it's a hat. And it's like, no, it's a spool of rope. But isn't it sad that we all had to think about it?
The hose with the handle. I knew it was a hose. It had to be a hose. Whose head? It could, and it couldn't be a purse. There was no place to put anything. But yeah, that just shows you how we've been manipulated. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. And then, can you tell what is this?
So,
Remind me.
so that is, I will put up like one thing from Etsy or a thrift store and one thing from a high-end designer. And can you tell the difference between these two pieces?
Hilarious. Then the price is wrong. That's ubiquitous. And oh my God, designing for humans. What's your favorite object that you've featured?
I think my favorite has to be the first episode that I did of that, because like I don't really have like a plan. So the first designing for humans just came because someone sent me this pair of shoes and said, I'd love for you to do something with this. And that was it. And they looked like a pair of Timberlands, just a traditional Timberland boot, except that the rubber sole like climbed up around the sides of the shoes. So it's the first thing that's in the Designing for Humans playlist, because I had not planned on that being a series. People just responded to it so much that I continued making them. But there are truly so many things that look like they were designed by aliens who only read about a human in a book once.
Yeah, or like an outfit where the top is just like the hairbands we used to wear in the 1950s. You know, it's like what woman could wear that? That's insanity. Yeah,
and that's why Clothing That My Boobs Laugh At is a series, because I'm a well-endowed woman, and a belt is not going to cover it. That's a felony. Like.
So you do a great one called Where Are We Going With This? And I often think that to myself. So I was so glad to see you do that. Like, where would you wear that?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't leave the house in it. And I'm not particularly sensitive to other people's opinion. But come on. You know. Then Dick Goose was pretty good.
Mother doesn't like Dick Goose.
Oh, well. Just because she has refined tastes doesn't mean the rest of us have to.
No, I had to stop playing Is This Fashion or a Sex Toy, because she was like, that's crass.
Oh, I missed that. That must be way at the bottom. I mean, I
started that way back.
yeah, that's and then there's This or That. Can you describe that?
So that's where I like to show one item handmade by someone on Etsy, and something made by a designer, because very often people are way more impressed with the Etsy piece than they are with the designer. And that's an opportunity for me to showcase someone who's just making very, very cool things.
I'm going through the hilarious stuff, and then I'll talk about the serious stuff. But so you have a beef with Balenciaga, which just cracks me up. Every time you say it, it's like the words stick about here, you know? See, can you explain the history of that feud? It's like the Hatfields and the McCoys.
Absolutely, I can. So I became aware of Balenciaga because they had a tendency to sell distressed pieces for simply insane prices. Like they have a black hoodie where the pocket is falling off. There's holes all over it. And it says Balenciaga in Scotch tape just on top of it. And that was $480. So I highlighted a few pieces from Balenciaga and just talked about my dislike for pre-distressed things, stuff that's meant to look like you're poor.
Performative poverty, I think you called it.
Poverty cosplay. Yeah, 100% poverty cosplay.
Yes.
But then I looked into, sorry. Oh my God, my dog. Hank. Oh my God. A dog walked by the house.
That's okay.
And
mine are likely to do that too. Or my husband might yell something up at me because he can't get it into his head. Okay, go ahead.
I'm either going to die of a heart attack or tripping over the dog, but one way or another, they will be responsible for my death. So I looked into the actual history of Balenciaga. And when Cristobal Balenciaga was designing in the 50s and 60s, they were beautiful.
Yes.
And I have to think that if he's somewhere looking at what the company is doing now, he's just
horrified.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so glad to hear you say that, because when I saw you making fun of Balenciaga, I didn't see the object. I just heard what you were saying. And I thought, why? I mean, Balenciaga is really nice stuff.
Mhm.
And then I actually have something here. Hold on. I was going to pull it out and I forgot. Let me see if I can find it here. Ah, yes. Here we go.
I'm scared.
I got a Balenciaga bracelet.
Oh my God. Okay,
Care to
for
tell
anyone who
everybody?
does not know, they call it their gaffer bracelet. It is tape dipped in resin that they are selling for $3,000. Like,
I couldn't believe it.
y'all, we need to figure out, we need to have some house of something, maison de shit, and just make our own shit and figure out
Oh,
how
no,
to
no,
sell
no,
it
no,
to
maison de
people.
merde.
Maison de merde. Like,
it's puzzling. So, and then the other thing, the towel skirt for $900.
$900. I'm at a 9. Like, yeah, it's literally just a towel.
It's a
with
towel
Velcro
wrapped
and
around
a
your
button
waist.
for $900.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of people will say, like, well, they're rage baiting. This is what they're doing. They make these products to get the attention, but that gets you looking at the brand. And for me, it's like, okay, but they still made it. They still made it. They still paid people. They still
People
paid
buy
artists.
it.
Like, yeah, and that's the thing.
That's the part I don't get. And
Because
then
there are some people who will.
the ultimate piece of Balenciaga trash is the trash bag purse. Oh God. Isn't that more than $1,000?
$1,720.
Oh my God. Do you stay up at night? Does this haunt you or does it come back to you in nightmares?
It's okay. So that video, because I've done multiple videos about the trash bag.
Yeah.
I was so horrified by that video that I just felt like I have to do something good about this. So that is a leather handbag that looks like a trash bag. It's got like
a black
the yellow
hefty bag
pull
is what,
ties. Yeah, like a hefty
exactly
bag.
what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I chose to do with that reel was talk about the fact that there are so many children in foster care in the United States, and it's still standard policy when social workers arrive to remove them from a home or take them from one home to another, they give them trash bags for all of their possessions. And I can't imagine on what is probably one of the most traumatic days of their lives to be made to feel
like garbage.
Like garbage. So
this is what I love about you, Maggie. You have a heart and a conscience. It's rare. Everything you said just resonated. Yeah.
But again, if you're watching this, and I completely mean this, there are so many organizations, both national, international, but definitely in your state where you can donate gently used luggage, gently used backpacks, or new luggage, and they will give that to these children so that they have a little bit of dignity when they are going through these incredibly difficult situations. And that's really the joy of having my channel. Like, I love getting to just make fun of things. I love getting to have a laugh, but so much more important than that is the platform that I have been given to just share information like that, because I'm not a foster child. I don't know any foster child, but like most people just don't know things like that. But the good that you can do with the tools that you already have is so important. So getting to share messages like that is really important to me.
Yeah, you come across, you bring across these really important messages, and you do it couched in humor. And I think that attracts more people. It gets the message across farther. So let's continue down this rogues gallery. The paper bag by Moschino, $400 for a paper bag. And oh my God, that video you showed of the influencer putting her belongings in it. Was she serious?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
That's how bad it is. You can't even tell, you know.
And she's not, it's literally a paper bag. It's literally a paper bag. Yeah. Like, it's not leather made to, it's literally.
No. She says, I'm not going to put my full bottle of perfume in here because I don't want it to melt the bag. So I'll put my sample, because I go everywhere with a sample of perfume.
What are we, farm animals? Yeah. Like, The $395 is the sale price. The original retail was $795.
Oh, yeah, I didn't write the full price.
Yeah.
I was trying to keep up with you talking,
No, I know it. I know it in my head. Like,
it's engraved.
There's an ulcer somewhere, and Balenciaga is written on it. I swear to God.
No, because you know what? You're getting that out by doing good works, so it'll be okay. So then this grossed me out. And,
Okay.
you know, I have become a vegetarian because my children shamed me into it. And I'm not the world's best vegetarian because I'll still like something made of leather, and then they remind me, oh, you can't, and then I'll go, oh yeah, you're right, I can't. But I'm a prepubescent vegetarian. I'm learning, but I'm still developing. So this really grossed me out. You talked about these two bags, these side by side. There was a zebra mane and crocodile skin bag for $5,400. That's $5,400. And then there was a Sicily pony alligator bag for $7,200. Did they kill a pony to make that bag?
So apparently, because someone commented on this, and thank you to that person, it's not made of a pony. The like type of leather is called pony.
So who did they kill to make it?
I forget. It's still not great, but the one that should really get you is the one made from the spine of a human child. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't. There aren't enough hours in the nighttime. I watched so many hours of your videos yesterday.
Because the thing is, like, you and I can have a debate about leather. We can have a debate about leather because I think that if you're going to kill animals for food, you should use all of the parts.
You should use the leather. I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah.
But like,
I'm not saying that's great, but
no, but there are limits. And for me, a 5-year-old spine is about the line. Like, yeah. And that's why I say there was an artist who made an art piece. I believe it was crocodile skin and an ethically sourced 5-year-old child's spine, which I don't know that one can source ethically the body of a child. But that is why I'm very careful to say that while fashion is art, that's not a blank check.
I can't even.
No, that's real. You can Google it. That is
real.
I
know. I 100% believe you. I know that if you're going to put it out there, you're being accurate about it. I'm horrified that this is something people do.
I do the best I can. Let me be very clear about that. Like, I'm a one-woman operation here, so like I make mistakes. I try to take accountability for that when it happens on my channel, but yeah, like disgusting.
So you showed the banana skirt. Was that Dolce & Gabbana? Was that
Dolce & Gabbana?
Okay. So you talked about it almost being like a piece of art. I thought it was a piece of art. Where would you wear that stupid thing? But did you know that it was very similar to something Josephine Baker wore?
Huh?
You knew that. Okay. I was like, oh my God, I've seen that skirt before.
I think that's why they made it.
$10,900.
Mm-hmm.
And where are we going with that? You couldn't sit down in it.
You can't sit down.
You can't actually walk.
I'm sorry. I'm climbing back on the soapbox for just a minute.
Oh,
but
please.
That's one thing about fashion that offends me is that the presumption seems to be that you are a size 2 woman who does not need to sit and eat and go to the bathroom and hold a conversation. Yeah. Like, it is simply your joy to exist in this designer's clothing, rather than it should be the designer's joy to put clothing on your beautiful body.
Now, I don't know what the bad thing is about Diane von Furstenberg, but that dress looks good on me. So it's the only high fashion thing, because I've tried so many, only high fashion thing that I actually like, because I think it looks really good on a lot of women. Mm-hmm. And it's just cute. That's a persuasive argument, huh?
I don't hate all designers. Like, I know that I come off that way because most of what I do is complain, but like, I love the joy in Betsy Johnson's pieces.
Oh, I love Betsy. I love Betsy Spider.
I have never made fun of her. Like, I love her.
Ross, you get it for less at Ross. They sell quite a bit of Betsy Johnson stuff, and I have a couple of shirts by her, and they're fun.
It's the bags that get me. I love the silly, ridiculous bags
I
because like
haven't seen them.
Google immediately. Like she has bags that are shaped like objects a lot. So there will be like a milkshake bag, a coffee cup bag, a bag that's a bunch of French fries. But while they are designer items, they're still accessible to most people. Because if you really want a Betsy bag, you might spend $150, but you'll have it for the rest of your life if you take care of it. So like it's up there, but it's not insane.
Well, at Ross, I got Betsy Johnson towels with skulls on them. They're like bright orangey pink, with skulls on them. It was great. I was so happy. Then this is my favorite. I told my husband about this and he said, wait, what? The Felico water bottle for over $3,000 that says, don't get wet.
Get wet.
Don't get wet. And then really the selling point, the point that they think is a selling point that would make me automatically never want anything to do with it is it's used by royalty.
Right.
Please, royalty. Do we have, what are we doing with royalty? Let's ask about that.
Yeah.
It's insanity. And then of course the Airman's pool table for $250,000.
That's why I love playing How Much Is This? Because there are some people who will say like, oh, I'm going to guess really high, $40,000. And then it's like $895,000. One of my friends.
This would be a perfect point to show you something.
Oh God.
I recently, not too long ago, a few months ago, I every weekend I synopsize a book. And sometimes it takes more than one weekend. And then if I'm really lucky and I do my stalking persuasively, I get the author to come and talk about the book. So this book is about, well, I'll tell you the subtitle, The Obscene Wealth of the Ruling Class,
Lovely.
What they do with their money and why you should hate them even more. It's written by a professor of economics. It's called Mastering the Universe.
I need to be friends with this person.
I'll tell you afterwards. This is the best book. And he dedicates a couple of chapters to just how the rich live, how they spend their money. What's that thing about the camel and the eye of the needle? And oh my God, it's unbelievable. You have to hear it to actually believe it because you could not make it up. Unbelievable. Did you know, for example, that Jeff Bezos has a yacht for his yacht?
Oh, did you know that his employees are not allowed to use the bathroom in his home? So some of them have developed, UTIs because they, yeah.
Because he doesn't want them soiling the bathroom.
What world is this?
Well, I know from somebody who actually worked there that Bill Gates' house, when they know they have a workman or a workwoman coming in, they cover the art with drapes so that nobody can see what art they own.
Oh, for God's sake.
I knew you'd like that. Mr. Philanthropy, but we won't go into that. So shout out here, because we've already talked about you upcycling, shout out to Zero Waste Daniel. I wanted to put that forward. And with that in mind, when you talk about something utterly ridiculous, you're really good about shifting the conversation. For example, Temu. That was so funny. You doing the brain dead, what do they call it? Influencer. Temu has basically slave labor.
Oh, not basically. They have actual slave labor, yes.
Okay, well, I'm trying to be nice. I don't know why. But you want to talk about that a little bit? Or is that too painful?
Oh, no. I mean, so first of all, fast fashion is a very ugly, ugly beast. And you cut me off when you need to. But when we say
I'm all ears.
When we say fast fashion, what we mean is that fashion used to have 2 seasons. People used to do fall winter collections and spring summer collections. Now there are 52 seasons. A brand like H&M has 52 seasons because there is this constant need for new pieces. And especially with social media, which consumes so quickly that if you see one of the Kardashians wearing something, you can almost guarantee that something like that will be on Shein or Temu's website within the next 2 weeks. So H&M, for example, is very proud of the fact that something can go from a sketch by a designer to being sold in their store in 3 weeks. That is an insanely short amount of time. It is estimated that 40 million people are currently being enslaved worldwide simply to serve fast fashion.
Oh my God, 40 million?
40 million. That is
And how
more.
many of them are under 12?
Yeah, that is more people in the history. That is more people enslaved at any time in the history of the world is today. And those are people who are enslaved. That's not people who are working for poverty wages or slave wages.
So can I interrupt you and
Please.
ask you, um, what's the enslavement process? I mean, how does that happen?
That's a really big question. That's a really big question.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. It's just I don't want to undercut what's happening, but I'm also not the most informed about this. Um,
So they
but
kind of enslaved by their economic situation and then they can't get out of it. Is
I mean,
that
unfortunately, a lot of children are sold by parents who can't afford them.
okay? All righty
It's not
then.
fun. It's
Yeah.
not fun. But if you look at what just happened with Dior about 2 years ago, they finished an investigation that said that they were illegally immigrating people from China to their warehouses in Italy. So, all Dior products say made in Italy, which gives it that elevated feeling, right? Except that those workers were being forced to sleep in the facility, so they would be on hand 24/7 to make bags. Safety equipment was forcibly removed from the machines to improve efficiency.
Speed it
They
up.
were
Yeah.
working for $2 to $3 per day, but they still get to say made in Italy. So
Oh
there's a
no, no,
very
no, not made in Italy. Handcrafted in Italy.
by artisans, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ugliness in the world, but brands like Shein and Temu are part of that cycle that feed this constant need we have for new, 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 and for cheaper, cheaper, cheaper. So they do everything they can to produce clothing as quickly as possible, as cheaply as possible. And then because you've purchased something so cheaply, if you buy a t-shirt for $5 and you wear it twice, most of us will feel like, okay, I got my use out of that. So if it falls apart after that, if it starts pilling, if you can't wear it, it's fine. You throw it out, you buy a new one. That's causing huge environmental impacts that are very, very negative.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot of problems. But if you go on Shein's website right now, do it right now, wherever you are at home, Shein or Temu, if you use either one of them, please don't do it. Temu steals your data. Go on Shein's website and just go to new arrivals. And there are about 40,000 new pieces added to their website every single day.
God. Well, I have a clear conscience because I'm not a clothes horse.
Mhm,
And the only thing that determines how often I shop is what size I am.
mhm.
And which varies week by week, year by year. And I just keep the same clothes for every people could probably tell. And you mentioned not being familiar with ThreadUp. I
Oh
like
no, I know ThreadUp.
Okay, I like ThreadUp. I've had very, very good luck with ThreadUp. If
Mhm,
you can figure out the shape of clothing that looks good on you and
mhm.
the general size you might be, you can pretty much get what does look good. It's been an education.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, if you don't know what looks best on you, I will encourage you to try something like Stitch Fix, which is a subscription service where you get a stylist who will send you clothing based on your interests. You try on what fits, what doesn't work for you, you send back, they try again. But be on that for 3 or 4 months. That can teach you more about your body and what fits you best and what brands you might like to try. And then you're just better armed to go out and find something new. Like there are a lot of really good solutions in the world, and I love that the resale market is being so much more accepted, because even when I was a kid, if you shopped at Goodwill, that was an insult. And now if you say, I
Really?
thrift,
Oh,
people are excited. People, because you know that what you're getting has a story behind it. And it's a compliment to you that you went looking for something so unique. So I'm happy that that is changing, and things like ThreadUp and eBay and Poshmark and all these secondhand sites gaining popularity is a really positive thing.
it's a really positive thing. And I told you I've got 5 girls, and they all were avid customers of secondhand clothes,
Mhm.
secondhand stores that very popular where they all went to school, and no shame in hand-me-downs in my house. It's a generational thing. Um, let's see here. What else do I want to ask you about? We talked about the poverty cosplay, which is utterly ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to give you a choice, and you can decide which one you want to talk about first, because
Okay.
I have basically two topics left. One is social media and misogyny, and the other is celebrity consumption and that influence on all of us.
Can we start with celebrity consumption in celebration of Coachella?
Oh, now that's a concert, right?
Kind of. It was.
I
So,
I am so my finger is not on the pulse of popular culture. I am living in the 20s,
so
1920s.
Coachella is technically a sort of concert. It's a music festival that every year has around 70 bands that come and play, and often very big names. But yeah, it seems mostly now to be tickets around $4,000 each.
Whoa,
It seems,
whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait a minute. A person?
yeah, yes,
Oh my God.
yes. And it seems like something where it's just a bunch of influencers who go to the desert. So the entire point is what you wear. So if you're going for all 3 days, you don't bring 3 outfits. You bring like 40 outfits so that you can
No, you bring 40 outfits. I don't
one
own 40
kid.
outfits.
But it's I hate it so
That's
much.
ins-
And
I am sure. I just thought it was a music thing.
no, there are now people who will hire a professional stylist to style them during the entirety of the festival. People will bring their own hair and makeup team so that you can look your best in the yeah,
To
it's
what end?
cloud on social media.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm doing wrong on my channel. Okay, so I have a particular celebrity to talk about. But
Mhm.
first, just in general, uh, nobody pays attention to what I'm talking about here, so it's safe to talk. It's safe to talk. Who would you consider the worst celebrity for clothes and the whole?
Kardashian.
Oh, okay. Here's my favorite
You go,
story.
then I'll go. Yeah.
Okay, so my favorite story is that Kim Kardashian is divorced from Kanye West. They have children together. They have this sullen little 12-year-old named North, who I'm concerned for her mental health. Anyway, go ahead, get mad at me. I just, my opinion. I heard a whole thing about her birthday coming up, and they decided to buy her a purse. $75,000. I first heard 70,000, then I heard 75, then I heard 80. And then I heard, oh, it's not true, but let's pursue this a little bit. They wanted to get her a black alligator, what's called a mini Kelly bag
From Birkin.
from Hermes.
Yep. It's a Birkin
Um,
bag.
and according to the people that are writing about this is a quote: luxury fashion is her birthright. So what ended up happening is the story was put out there, true or not, we don't know, that Hermes denied her the purse because they don't want them running around with their label on them. Bad advertising.
Sorry, you go ahead.
One more thing.
I am bursting right now.
I know. There's just so much. When she was 6 in 2019, they bought her a $10,000 white Hermes Birkin bag. 6 years old. My children at the age of 6 would have put magic marker all over them. What, are you kidding me? Okay, I'm done.
Oh no, I'm just getting started.
I'm so happy.
If you have never Googled Kim Kardashian's home, look at it. It is fucking terrifying. It's all white. The kitchen's not real. It's horrifying. So do you know the process for getting a Birkin bag from Hermes?
You have to be invited, don't you?
So you have to have purchased enough Hermes products that a sales associate will recognize you, will know you, will put your name on a list, and then you are eventually offered the opportunity to buy a bag. You don't get to pick which bag. They just show one to you and say, do you want to buy this? And if you say no, which nobody ever does, it's likely that they'll just take your name off of the list. So if you're offered the opportunity, you buy the bag, and you just hope that you get another opportunity and it's the bag you want. Kim Kardashian especially, but the entire Kardashian family are collectors of Hermes. She has an original vintage 1980s elephant skin bag from Hermes, which she has said is fake. And people who know the history of these bags, like, no, it's real. Stop lying. There is a sickness that I think comes with that level of fame, honestly. She is a spokesperson for Balenciaga. She gets paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to wear Balenciaga outfits out. There is a very famous one she wore to a show. It might have been a Balenciaga show. I'm not 100% sure, where it's the Balenciaga tape. It looks like police tape, except it says Balenciaga. It's just duct tape. Have you seen that one where they taped her in like a mummy? So that's my favorite, because an assistant had to cut her out of it because she almost pooped herself, because she could not do anything except stand there because she was covered in duct tape.
Oh, well, that's like, let's talk about the Met Gala. The Marilyn Monroe dress. Did you see the up close seams after
The destruction, the way she destroyed a historical dress for her own self-aggrandizement?
God, I was horrified. Absolutely horrified. Just no respect for it. Ego is all. Ego is everything. And then the bustier corset, the corset that she wore, that she had to be carried in. Yeah. And did she have a rib removed, or was that a discussion? Am I imagining that?
I don't think that actually happened, but it's there are a lot of medical pursuits that people can take to have a better body.
I wouldn't know where to start. I can't even imagine. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I watched that show in horrified fascination for a few years, and people gave me a really hard time about what the keeping up with the Kardashians. And I told them, no, I feel like Margaret, what was her name? Margaret, the anthropologist.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Goodall with the chimps.
No. Margaret, earlier than that, she was in Samoa, and she studied the culture of Samoa, which had never been studied by the West before. And there was just this sort of incomprehensible fascination with something that had never been seen before. How they live is so foreign to anything. Yeah. And listen, not to brag, but I went to a very fancy all-girls private school, and it was, I was like the Sarah Crew, if you're familiar with that story. But I got to see rich people in their natural habitat. Oh, it's nothing like that. I should say the Kardashians went to the sister school in Los Angeles. Marymount.
The thing is, like, I don't blame people for having money. I don't blame people for spending money. But when one of her younger sisters, Kylie or Kendall, I don't know which is which, her makeup artist was in a really horrible car accident. And she needed $30,000 for facial reconstructive surgery.
Oh, God.
And I think it was Kylie. I could be Kendall, but I'm going to say Kylie. Was absolutely lauded because she started a GoFundMe to raise money to help that poor woman.
Pocket change for her. Pocket change.
That's the thing. It's like, you wouldn't notice if someone stole that from you.
Yeah.
But here you are, you humanitarian, you champion of the people. Like, and this is
Lady Bountiful is more what I think of.
I mean, but this is why I say, like, we have to help each other, because God knows they're not going to do it, because you're absolutely right. The way they live is just as foreign to you or I as if we went to rural China, to a village that had no electricity, no running water. Right. And we said, we want to hang out with you guys.
Margaret Mead.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I knew it would come to me if I didn't try. I could try a little too much, and my brain cells all cross currents and misfire and stuff. Yeah, I'm horrified. It's horrified fascination. It's not that that I love the show or they're my favorite people to criticize. I mean, if I have to criticize anybody, which
Call
apparently
me.
I do.
But again, I have to say, have you heard of the Kardashian closet?
No.
My sister in Christ. Okay, so if you go to Kardashian Closet, that's closet spelled with a K, which is wrong and I hate it. That is where you can buy pieces they have worn. So you can go to like Kim's Closet and see the clothing that she's selling. Their children, and I think this is sick, wear an outfit one time. When they take it off, it is given to this nanny who lists it on the website, and you can buy like a onesie for $500 with a certificate of authenticity saying that a Kardashian kid wore it. And how much of that money goes to charity? None. It's
None.
so bizarre. And a lot of
So
it is because they get clothing from designers who hope that they will wear the clothing, be photographed in it. And it's like, okay, so you're charging me more for this designer piece because Kim looked at it once? Like, what the there's a sickness in the brain.
Yeah, when you mentioned the closet, my mind immediately went to, oh, they're donating clothes for women who have job interviews. They're donating.
Oh, you'd like to think so, wouldn't you? Like, no, if you want to support that, go to moretoloveconsignment.com. My friend Jasmine runs that. She's in Asheville, North Carolina. It's a consignment store for plus size women, specifically caters to.
Oh, you had a video with her.
I did.
I loved it.
When they had Hurricane Helene come through, there were so many people in need. And, getting clothing at all can be difficult, but getting clothing as a plus size woman can be especially difficult. Yeah. So she started a nonprofit wing that partners with local other nonprofits to have pop-up shops where when you need to go somewhere to collect food, to collect stuff, she has an opportunity for you to go shopping. It's all free, but choose clothing for yourself that fits. That's what us poors do.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Each other. Yeah. Help each other. So just peripherally to the story of Kim Kardashian is the situation with Kanye West's second wife or present wife.
Bianca Censori.
Okay. Yeah. Like what, other than a lack of mental health, what is going on there? Oh my God.
So let me just say first that I am not a trained clinician. No. I mean, really, it's not my place to speak about someone's mental health issues or what could be going on. But what I will say with my full throat is that I am extremely uncomfortable with the power dynamic in that relationship, because a lot of people look at her and say she chooses to be there. She chooses to be with someone who is, well known for their eccentricities, and she could leave anytime. She is over 15 years his junior. Yeah. You know her because she's Conway West's wife. Like, I am very uncomfortable with the appearance of that relationship. And it could be that she's happy and healthy and alive, but
it's not the vibe I get.
It makes me extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. Power dynamic is a way to put it. There's another word for it that you're not supposed to say on YouTube, but it starts with an A. It is horrifying to me. He takes sadistic delight, and that's why I feel I can evaluate his state of mind. I left my certificate in the other room. I'll have to bring it up later. He takes sadistically, it's apparent sadistically, in humiliating her publicly.
I mean, I agree. And again, I can't tell you how much of that she's willfully consenting to, or how much of it is a performance, or how much of it is extremely detrimental, and I hope she gets out. But it makes me uncomfortable.
Cringeworthy. Yeah. So on the topic of misogyny, let's talk about that. I was horrified by the kinds of things that you get as comments. Oh my God. I get people arguing about philosophy, points of philosophy. You're getting outright
must be nice.
Smut. Oh my God. But I love how you handle it. Go ahead and tell us all about it.
So, yeah, I mean, I am very aware that I am a larger breasted woman who chooses to be on the internet. And I never mind people asking if I have an OnlyFans. I don't, I choose not to. It's the assumption that you can buy anything from me that you want that I
Yes,
find
I saw a lot of
very
that.
upsetting.
Yeah.
And I think that not only obviously does damage to women, but this whole manosphere thing is doing incredible damage to our young men as well, because they are not learning how to communicate with and appreciate women. Um, so I get a lot of really horrible comments, and I choose to make videos responding to them. And a lot of people ask me why. They say, like, shouldn't you just ignore it? And for me, it's like, no, because then they really win. Because if
Yeah,
somebody
you give
thinks,
them
"Ooh,
power.
I got her to cross that professional line," it's like, yeah, but I'm not crying. Like, I am standing up and
Yeah.
telling you who I am, and more importantly, other women and girls are watching me do it,
Yep.
because I guarantee when you respond that way, they never come back. No man
Well,
has ever
that's because
commented on the same
essentially
video
they're
twice.
cowards. They're
Absolutely.
cowards. There's that anonymity, and the very fact that they're looking through, they're seeing everything in the context through a lens of this prepubescent.
Mhm.
To me, that spells immaturity and a lack of development psychologically. And here I am diagnosing it. And
But
a
let's
lack
talk
of
about that power dynamic again,
literacy.
though. Let's talk
Yes.
about the power dynamic. There was a man
Yes.
who, and I just wrote an article about this for Raven's Tongue magazine. Um, there was a man who insulted me in my comment section. He was telling me I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm old, all the things that you hear. And I put him in his place, and he ran away with his tails between his legs, and then emailed me later that night. And I'm sorry, this is going to be graphic. I'm just letting you know. Emailed me later that night to ask how much it would be for a video of me fucking my ass with my toothbrush and then brushing my teeth. Not would I do it, but how much is it? Because that
Like
was the
anything
only
can be
way.
bought. Yeah.
Mhm. That was the only way he knew to respond to me, is to sexually degrade me. Because for so many of them, I took his power when I was not upset by what he was saying. I knocked that little king off his throne. And the only way he knew to come back from that was to put me in my place through sexual degradation. And that is what bothers me. The idea that there is an amount of money to which I would agree, because I'm a woman who makes content on the internet. So naturally, I do not only porn, but incredibly degrading porn. Clearly, of course, I do.
I don't even know where to start with this. There's a book
Yeah.
that I was thinking of covering, and I actually did the reading, took the notes, prepared to do it, and then I have never done it. I decided not to do it because the author published the book, started going on a book tour, and had to go into hiding because it's called Men Who Hate Women. And it's about the manosphere, but it's a couple of years before that term became
Mhm.
really mainstream. And she talks about, for example, going to a school in England. She was traveling, she was invited. She went to this co-ed school, seniors in high school, and she's giving a talk about all the things you would think of having to do with misogyny and the manosphere. And the young men were so egregiously rude and tried to overpower her. She's this
Mhm.
single one lone woman on stage addressing this large group, and they're like a pack of
Mhm.
predators going after her as a group. So the next year, she and the principal worked out this plan, and the girls actually came up with it. And they came up with this plan where the girls were allowed to go into the assembly hall early, and they seated themselves in such a way that no two boys were sitting next to each other or behind each other. They
Mhm.
couldn't communicate their reinforcement.
Mhm.
Totally different atmosphere. So
Well,
what is wrong with young men that in a group they become a lethal predatory mass that they don't always, or
they are
anonymity, yes,
they
but
are
go ahead.
posturing for one another. It has nothing to do with you. Same as they've done studies on catcalling. Men catcall in front of other men. They don't do it by themselves. It's this really messed up idea of masculinity.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I had early in my channel, I had bullying. I would call it bullying by a troll. And there was a little bit of an edge to it. I don't get a lot of that. Why would I? I mean, but I decided I'm not going to ignore this.
Mhm.
So the next video I did, I explained the comment that I had received, and it was insulting, and it was petty and childish and bullying. And I said, I wonder why young men feel compelled to do this. So at the time I was doing tarot card readings all the time. I said,
Mhm.
let's ask the cards. And I did a full tarot card reading on it. And I started out, it was a joke. It was with
Yeah.
levity. Shortly into the reading, it became deadly serious. And there was a real message there. And I thought, okay, I'm going with this because I think this is important to get across. And, it was about power. It was about self respect, because you have no self respect if that's the only way that you can relate to other people.
Yep.
So I just wanted you to know that you're seen and you're heard, and we're not all
No,
like,
thank you. I mean, that's why I make those videos. It's not for me, it's for everyone else watching, because women and girls need to know, and I mean everybody does, but I'm going to say specifically women and girls need to know that you don't have to put up with that, you don't have to ignore that, and you don't have to be the bigger person. Fuck that. Somebody comes to your table and they're not going to complain about your food, get up and leave. But especially, like, I want men to understand what women go through online, because my experience is not
unique.
singular. It
No.
is not. And because women are told, ignore it, block them, move on, we don't talk about it, and we should.
Oh, I agree with you. I had a conversation with my husband a while back, and I mean, we've been together a long time, and you still continue to learn things about somebody. I was taken aback by his lack of understanding, and he's a very, open minded, very much an advocate for women. Absolutely.
Mhm.
I said to him, "You think that I would go for a walk there after dark? You think I would go out?" I said, let me explain something to you.
Yeah.
When you're a woman, even in broad daylight in the Walmart parking lot, if you have any sense at all, you're 360 watching what's going on and paying attention to who's loitering and who's looking, and you don't linger if you have any sense at all. And when you're walking around a store, you kind of clock
Yep.
who's in the aisle, and you don't put yourself in situations if you can possibly help it. You can't always help it, but you learn to carry your keys in your hand, and you learn techniques. I've got bear spray in one pocket. I've got pepper spray in the other pocket. I mean, I go out for a walk like I'm going into battle, and I'm
Mhm.
talking broad daylight.
Yep.
And he said, "Yeah, I guess men don't have to think about that." I said, "Yeah, that's right."
I recently started doing a series about safety tips for children, just
I
things that you
know.
can do to keep your kids safe. And it's been really surprising that a lot of responses from men have been like, "Oh, you're a crazy paranoid bitch." And it's like, no, that's how women think.
That's
That's
how
how,
women have to think
yes.
because of you, the guy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep. And that's the thing that I think is so funny about the manosphere is like, men are protectors. And it's like, oh, what are you protecting me from? Is it other men? What's the danger? Is it men? Is it
Yeah, it's an uncomfortable reality for them, an uncomfortable realization, because I do think a lot of them are just oblivious. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think it's by choice. Like, I don't think it's that, men are so awful. I think it's really just that it's not something they have had
Correct.
to put in front of their faces the way that women do. I have a daughter. I've already talked to her about her private parts and what that means. I had that conversation when she was 5.
Yeah, you have to.
Because you
You
have
have to. Yeah. And you have to prepare your children for the world. The world is it can be a very, it's a cold place, and they have to be prepared without terrifying them. But I love the videos that you've done about children. That's the one thing I didn't write down, maybe because I served my time. I'm done.
You know what? You say that, But when someone gets lost, they tell them, shout mom, because every woman will turn.
You're absolutely right. You are absolutely
And
right.
I absolutely believe, it takes a village. And if you
Mhm.
see a child in trouble, you say something. You don't just
Oh, they
let.
say you go to an older woman. If something happens to you, go to an older woman, and it's true. It's very rare. I mean, look at the statistics. Yeah, it's very rare that an older woman is a threat to a small child. It's the opposite. Yeah. Well, this has been so much fun. I don't want to keep you forever, but I have so enjoyed this, and I still have to continue watching your videos because I didn't get through all of them yet. You have
I know.
hundreds and hundreds.
I have thousands. I have a
Oh,
lot of
okay.
videos.
That's wonderful, though. Good for you. How many do you think you make in a week?
Oh, I post 3 or 4 a day every day.
Short ones.
3 or 4 short ones every day. I also have a Patreon where once a week we do the comment section where it's free if you want to join, but we have a live comment section where we just show a collection that recently walked the runway and we talk about it. And sometimes it's to crucify it, but sometimes, like we just talked about Max Alexander, the 10-year-old boy who just had his first collection walk at Paris Fashion Week. He's the youngest designer to ever have a collection, and it was made from upcycled materials.
Oh, I'll have to look that up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
I
incredible.
like to watch the reconstructions in museums when they take a piece of clothing from the 1600s and they pick. I love to watch that. I don't know why. I just do. And are
No,
you
it is
familiar with
fascinating.
Judy Chicago's dinner party?
I don't think so.
Oh, I'd like to tell people about this because it's
Okay.
made by a woman and therefore has been put in a warehouse for a very long time. In the 70s, Judy Chicago was an artist and she did ceramics,
Mhm.
beautiful glazed ceramics, but she did other things too. And she came up with this idea. She made a triangular shaped dinner table, like empty in the middle, like banquet tables in the shape of a triangle, glazed ceramic. And at each seat, and I forget how many people were supposed to be sitting around there, at each seat was a woman from history.
Okay.
And the place setting, there was a placemat and a dinner plate and a glass and maybe a napkin, maybe something significant to the time period. But for each one, it was made in the original style of that time period. So let me give you an example. For Sacagawea, they
Mhm.
hired a Native American woman who knew the traditional way of preparing hide, like chewing it and stuff,
Mhm.
that real ancient way. And they made this beautiful, I can't even describe it, deer hide place setting for what the poet, not Elizabeth Barrett Browning, the one who's always sad.
Oh,
You know who I mean, right?
do. Oh my God.
This is a sign of old age. This is what
God.
happens to me.
What's
I,
wrong with me?
well, I don't know. I'll let you look it up.
I'm gonna we're
From
doing it.
about the
Hold on.
1800s, roughly,
I know I'm gonna lose my mind.
until you find
Emily
something on
Dickinson.
it.
Oh my
Thank you.
God.
Thank you. Thank you for being my external brain. Anyway, for hers, they did this thing called ribbon embroidery.
Mhm.
Gorgeous. So those are just two small examples. And each place setting was an important woman from history. And it got shuffled off into a warehouse because all the museums said, oh, well, too much space, not well known enough. And she's very well known as an artist in her circle for ceramic art. Anyway, that's my final statement
I'm
is it's
gonna
fun to
Google
watch
that
that.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I'm gonna
Judy
Google that
Chicago's
immediately.
dinner party. I have the book, but it's an old book and it's black and white and it's paper and it's falling apart, which is really sad because I just love her. Well, Maggie, thank you. I really appreciate you being willing to do this.
God.
Are you looking for her?
It's extensive. 1,038 women from history. I had no idea.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Incredible. All right, we're gonna look that
Yeah.
up. Yes. Well, no, thank you so much for having me. This really was fun.
I had a great time. And when you do your book, I hope you'll come back.
I would
I
love
for
to.
sure will read it. And I won't promise that I'll do it as a synopsis because some books don't you know, if they're a dialogue or something, they don't lend themselves to synopsizing. I might as well just read the whole thing out loud, you know?
I
So we'll
honestly, I
see.
don't know that this one will, because
Yeah.
it's every chapter is just like 3 or 4 paragraphs. It's meant to be
Mhm.
something you can pick up and look at anytime, but it's a little bit, what comes out is my love of history as well.
Oh, well, I like that. I'll look up Why I Hate Everything.
Please do.
Because
Yeah. Yeah. Why I Hate Everything. I did the audiobook as well, if anyone's
you
interested
know,
in
that
that.
looks really familiar. I wonder if I've read that. I have this bibliography in my head that's ridiculous, and
I'm
I
sure.
don't remember anymore what I've read or who wrote it. I just know, oh, I liked it. That sounds really familiar. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope we'll be able to do this again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And I will be keeping an eye on your channel. Tell everybody where they can find you. I always forget to say that.
So you can find me everywhere as Refashioned Hippie, on Facebook as Maggie Weber with 1B like the grills, but Refashioned Hippie. And I do apologize. I picked the longest name to have on social media. If I knew I would be successful, it would have been shorter.
Oh, I love it. No, I think it's great. Are you a hippie?
100%.
I was.
Yeah.
Get to the point where, you know, you got to put shoes on because your corns hurt. Okay. So much fun. So much fun. Thank you. And thank you, everybody. Slán go foil. Slánte.